I took LSD alone in the woods, and the forest started whispering my name. I took the tabs just after sunset, alone, deep in the forest at a primitive campsite about a mile off any main trail. No cell service, no one else around, just a hammock, my gear, and the quiet hum of nature wrapping itself around the last blue light of the sky. It wasn't my first time tripping, but it was the first time I'd ever gone this deep into the woods to do it alone. I wanted clarity, rebirth, something raw. The dose was high, 400 micrograms across 2 clean white tabs from a source I trusted, but I was mentally ready, or thought I was. I set up my hammock between 2 wide trees and hung a lantern above me. Not that I'd need it once the trip fully set in. The forest was alive with sound. Crickets, rustling brush, a light wind teasing the treetops. But it all felt distant, like a stage being set. About an hour in, the visuals arrived. Leaves glowing slightly at the edges, color saturation rising like volume knobs being turned, and the sky turning into a velvet dome that felt closer than it should have been. I laid back and watched the stars drift into patterns. Not constellations, messages. The stars moved like birds migrating, not across space, but across time. My fingers left trails in the air. Breathing felt like pulling in liquid. I laughed. I cried. Then I stopped feeling anything at all. The forest didn't feel like it was around me. It felt like it was watching me. I sat up and scanned the trees. No wind now, no crickets. The silence had changed pitch. It had texture. Like I was being muffled. Like I had stepped behind the curtain of the world and something knew it. I turned off my lantern and let my eyes adjust. Shapes shifted in the shadows. My thoughts began to loop. I reached for my water bottle, and it wasn't there. I checked my bag. I checked my other side. Gone. I stood up. It was 5 feet away from me, standing upright on a tree stump. I hadn't moved it. I hadn't stood up. I didn't remember doing anything. I grabbed it with shaking hands and chugged. It felt like the water was watching me from the inside. Then I heard it, whispering, barely audible, like wind carrying syllables. My name. Not loudly, not directly, just tucked into the breeze. Repeating. I spun around. Nothing. Just trees. Just night. I told myself it was my brain playing tricks. Audio hallucinations are normal, but it kept happening. My name again. Softer. Closer. Then, "You're late." I froze. The air thickened. I scanned the darkness, and my eyes caught something. 2 pale lights, low to the ground, peeking from between the trees. Eyes, or reflection, or both. I backed toward my hammock, but it was no longer there. I spun around, and where it had been is now a hole. Not in the ground, in the scene. A tear in reality. A patch of static, like TV snow floating midair. I reached toward it. My hand passed through. It felt cold. Not temperature cold. Absence. I pulled back. The whispering stopped. Then I heard something walk. Not run. Not stalk, just walk. Slow. Deliberate. Behind me. I turned. No one. I turned again, closer. I shouted, "Who's there?" But the sound came out wrong, like someone else was using my voice. The sky flickered. The moon was gone, replaced by something bigger, rounder, redder. I blinked, and it returned to normal. Or I did. I don't know. My thoughts were fracturing into mirrors. I sat down hard on the dirt, palms to the ground, trying to breathe. That's when the ground breathed back, a slow inhale, like the forest had lungs under the soil. I felt my pulse match it. One breath, one heartbeat. Then another whisper, not my name, not words, just acknowledgement. Like someone saying, "I see you," in a language older than sound. I stood and began walking, not knowing where, just away. My flashlight didn't work. My phone wouldn't turn on. The path twisted. The trees bent. I walked in a circle. Again, again, again. Until finally, I stumbled into my camp. But it wasn't how I left it. The hammock was now tied lower, almost to the ground. My bag was open. The contents rearranged into a circle around the fire pit. My boots were full of sand. I hadn't been near water. I whispered, "This isn't real," like a mantra. I got back into the hammock and curled into the fetal position, but the nylon felt sticky, not with sap, with something else. I closed my eyes and tried to ride it out. That's when I felt the presence settle beside me, inside the hammock. No weight, no sound, just a coldness at my back and the distinct feeling that something was there. Breathing, not in sync with me. Opposite. When I inhaled, it exhaled. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. I whispered, "Please leave." And the whisper answered, "This is my place." My breath caught. My chest locked. I tried to scream, but it got caught in my teeth. Then I blacked out. Not fainted, not slept. Blacked out. When I opened my eyes, it was dawn. Birds chirping, sky soft blue, normal, ordinary. Except my gear was packed. My boots were clean. My phone was on, battery full, with a photo open, one I didn't take. It was of me, asleep in the hammock, shot from eye level, like someone had been standing over me, watching. I checked my camera roll. The photo wasn't there. Just one notification. One image sent. No app, no number, no signal. I hiked out in complete silence, didn't look back once. I've tripped since, but never in the woods, and I never go back to that trail.